Hey Gaurav.
Hi, just wanted to attend this meeting. I just recently contributed to Docs, so thought
Yeah, sure,
I can
sure.
join.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea of this meeting. So we've recently started working towards. I know.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
But how are you?
Good. Are we recording?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So I was just letting Gaurav know. So Gaurav is an intern in India with Ceph support, I believe.
Okay, cool.
Um, and he's recently made some doc contributions to I think RBD. And I was just telling him that we've started this focused effort to improve docs overall in Ceph, and now we just don't want to hear people complaining that our docs are bad. Now we have ways in which uh, they can either go and fix them themselves, or at least come and report it to us what exactly is bad, and then we will ensure that it gets fixed. And so, no, you want to kick it off?
Sure. So I think last week we had a goal of doing a merge today, and I
Mhm.
think we're really close, but there's like one more thing to do. But let me show you where we're at. So I can share my screen.
Let's just paste the pull request link in the meantime.
Okay. Um, so can you see anything?
Yes, I can see you're sharing your screen. Can you go to like
The,
a browser or something? I can just see your desktop and I see blue jeans.
oh, cool. Okay. What about now?
Yeah, I see the Ceph doc page.
Okay, cool. All right. So um, the thing that I worked on this week for documentation was to sort of finish getting um, the edit on GitHub link working. So that means that it is only there for branches that are supported, and it's only there for and it's not there whenever it's like a development version other than master. Um, so right now, if you visit this docs URL in here, you're going to see, if you refresh this page, you're going to see one of three states. And these three different states are, um, it's randomly selected each time you refresh the page. And it's really just because we can't, it's like there's like a bootstrapping of this state, and it's only going to work when it actually finally gets deployed to the master branch. So right now we're just like simulating what it would be like if you were viewing this on other branches.
Got it. Got it.
Um,
This is just
so
mostly for testing purposes, right? That it works.
yeah, and there's like a couple lines of code that we just need to comment out right before we merge, uh, and it'll like start using the actual URL.
Perfect.
Um, so let's see. So okay, so here's an example on the screen where it's saying this is a development version. So this would apply to basically any version of the documentation that's rendered for an end of life, or sorry, not an end of life, a for like a PR or a whip branch or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Sorry to
and
interrupt, but can you just zoom in one more level, maybe, so that's easier for the screen share to
oh yeah,
be
yeah,
visible too.
maybe I don't know if
Yeah,
that
this is
changes
this. Yeah,
anything.
that's perfect. That's perfect.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we probably want to change this link. Like this is a dev version. Maybe we could link to the master. Maybe we don't need to link to anything. I don't know. We can also discuss that now, or we could discuss it when we put up the PR.
Yeah, I think we can discuss it later, and that's top
Okay.
development. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, so I refreshed it, and this is simulating. This would be like if you visited the Joule documentation.
Right.
So this is the end of life, release, and then same thing goes there. We can discuss that later. And then see, so then okay, so then if you are on like Mimic or Luminous, then this edit on GitHub is going to take you to the correct branch over on GitHub. So it'll be like a pull request that gets started for Mimic or for Luminous or whatever version of the docs you're on.
If you want to just click it and just demo it, since it's getting recorded, people will understand how it's going to work.
Yeah, exactly. So if you see like a problem on this page, in this case, we're simulating that you're looking at the Mimic documentation. So you'd head over to GitHub, and then could make a change, and then create a new branch for this commit and start a pull request. So I think if we do this, then this creates a copy of Ceph on like your account. And then I'm not going to do it, but if you create the pull request here, you'll notice that it's already set up for the correct branch. So it's targeting the Mimic branch here.
The base branch is Mimic, yeah.
Yeah. One thing I realized that is not correct on here is that, well, maybe it is correct, but I think if we're showing the docs for master, then maybe we should say that it's a development release, but then also show the edit on GitHub links, because master's like it's kind of a special development release, right? So
right, yes. And we
do
care about like documentation bugs in master, so yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll fix that. That's a pretty easy fix. So I'd say that's all ready to go. And the only thing left to do, besides just fix that little thing there with master, is to the releases page. I just need to finish adding the data into this table. That's the only thing left to do. It's not hard. It's just kind of like you just gotta sit there and copy and paste. And then I think that we'll be done. We can merge.
Okay. Cool. And I think the commit that I added is already showing up to report the documentation bug, and it redirects to the projects page. The thing that is left to do is to actually write some introduction in there that how it works and what should a user go in and do there. So I will probably fill that up, and then that's a parallel thing. It has nothing to do with the PR, but that's one to do on my end that I will finish doing maybe next week.
Okay. Cool. Then I'll either submit the PR later today or maybe probably on Monday, depending on how the timing works. But I think we're good. This would be like we'd be able to mark off the first chunk of work in that Etherpad.
Right. Yeah. So, Gaurav, do you have any questions so far? I know it's a new way to do things, but it is eventually making life easier to create pull requests and report bugs. You don't have to go through the whole process of, I mean, you could choose to still open a tracker issue for documentation, but if you wish to, you can just go and fix it immediately on GitHub. Does that make sense to you?
Yep, actually, this seems a much easier process.
I'm glad to hear that.
I couldn't hear what.
Actually, I said this seems to be a very easier process, and someone finds an issue, then it can be fixed very
Okay.
yeah, on time. It's a cool feature.
Cool. So
All right.
if you have any more if you have any more bugs that you have found while you were investigating RBD or other parts of Ceph, I think this is going to get merged next week. So instead of going the other route, you could just use this route to just make a simple commit to fix a documentation bug that you observed, and that'll be really good. That'll be like a kickoff for this whole process.
Yep, nothing so far.
Okay. Anything else, Noah, that discuss?
Unless you want to talk about next steps, I don't think that we have anything else. We could talk about it real quick. We've only been here for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think so. I think we should talk about next steps because I see this PR getting merged next week, right? So
Yeah.
I honestly, there were a lot of ideas that came in the email thread that we had started initially. And we had decided at some point that we are only going to first tackle the basic problem that we were trying to solve and then maybe incorporate the other things. Maybe this is a good time to go back to that email thread and prioritize the next things that we would like to do in this direction. Do you have any things like, do you have some kind of priority in your mind already?
So first of all, I think, although it's been a while since that email thread was on my mind, but I think I might have added all of those comments into the Etherpad.
Okay. Let's just pull that up then real quick.
Yeah. Just the link. Share. Hit on GitHub, reporting errors. I think maybe, I mean, I'm not sure that I have any priorities, but the next thing we could work on might be jumping between versions with a little UI element. Honestly, I don't I don't know. I mean, do you have any priorities?
No, I was just thinking. I was just thinking the first problem that you had pointed out was like when we search for Ceph documentation, it's never that you get the latest one. Maybe now that we are trying to fix the right things, we should also make people get to the right links easily, and so the search bar, I think the Google search optimization, that point that was there somewhere, might be the next thing that we should focus on, because that's a real problem. I mean, like that we know needs to be addressed in some way or the other, and maybe we should just talk about how we should do that.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of, we should do both of those maybe at the same time. So it's kind of like, how do you get Google to tell you the right link? And then if you end up at the wrong link by some other method, or if Google doesn't give you what you want, then once you arrive, you'll see the banner ad that says this is an old version, and then you
Right.
jump to the newer version.
Yep.
Um,
I think that's the complete story there. Yeah.
Cool. So I think someone in the in the email thread had some experience with search engine optimization and was describing what he called canonical. So I think there's a couple options or like techniques. So there's these things called canonical links,
Mm-hmm.
and I think uh, it's something about tagging links that helps the search engine figure out what's going on.
Okay.
But then we can also blacklist certain URL
Mm-hmm.
formats. So maybe we could blacklist all the PRs and maybe like development branches and stuff like that. Um, and then you can use tags in the header. I think maybe we could shoot for, it's like if you type in Ceph, you go to what, Mimic? You'd always go to the latest stable release
Mm-hmm.
instead of master, maybe.
Yeah.
I think would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what we should do there. If maybe we should just make the docs URL just always redirect to
The
the
latest
latest.
stable release. Yeah.
That'd be kind of my preference. So it's like you go to the docs page, you just go to Mimic, and then you'll
Yeah.
go to Nautilus or whatever.
Yeah, and if somebody wants to particularly search for Luminous, they should just type in Luminous in their search keyword, and that should help them land in the right page. Or even the navigation bar is going to be useful there, right? I mean, even if I land in Mimic, I can just go and click at a navigation bar, and I can just go to Luminous docs for the particular, same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then I think we can go ahead and we don't need to wait until next Friday to merge the current stuff. But then next Friday, let's plan on talking about the plans for the SEO.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Maybe refer to that email who sent out that stuff about the search engine optimization, and then get started on that.
I'll do a little reading. We probably have like a pretty easy situation.
I think so as well, and that's why I want to find the easiest way to tackle this rather than writing long scripts to do this thing.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And maybe since this meeting is getting recorded, the other thing what we should put across is that anybody who would like to get involved in trying to make the docs better in any way, because there's Etherpad, and then there is the email thread on Ceph Devel. Just feel free to come and contribute and join this meeting or not, or just contribute. That also works. That, Gaurav, that applies to you as well. If anything interests you and you want to get involved in, feel free to do that.
Sure, actually, docs is the entry point that I find to contribute to and to dive in, and then later on maybe get into things that interest.
Sure. Sounds good. If you have any questions or if you want to contribute in any way, just reach out to any of us.
Actually,
And what are the different ways, Neha? Oh, sorry, Gaurav, what were you saying?
Pardon. I have encountered this search issue while I was searching for some commands, and I was and issues, and I was being referred to Joule instead of Mimic, so being referred to the older versions of Ceph instead of newer ones. So search optimization problem, yeah, I faced, and some of the things were not working in the newer version. Yeah, that was one thing. Yep. What were you saying?
I think I was asking Neha what, how people can, what's the best way to reach out about helping with docs, like maybe the mailing list or something?
I think the mailing list, it depends on at what level they are using IRC or whatever, the email, mailing list, anything works out, I think. And I also think that once this PR gets merged, Noah, maybe since you are the main contributor, you should just send out an email saying that this exists and people should just use this framework, just to spread the know-how, right?
Sure.
Yep. All right. Anything else that we want to discuss today?
I don't think I have anything.
Yeah. I think then let's call it a meeting and we'll meet next week and decide the next steps. And hopefully by then this PR is going to be merged. So good start.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks for joining, and see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I have a good one.
You too.